Hi, Parkside family. Hello from the Laws. My name's Tim Law.
And I'm Bitsy Law, and we'd like to share a little bit with you about what's been going on with us with the last month.
Yeah, like so many people, I've been safely sequestered at home, having to work from home. They banished us from the office, and going on 5 weeks now. So I've been having my fun back in the little nook in the bedroom where I've got my command central all set up and working.
And I've been fortunate enough to be able to go into the office every day. So I think that's fortunate for me and probably fortunate for Tim that we both aren't home trying to work. But my routine as far as work is concerned has been pretty normal. I've had a business meeting or a business trip canceled, but pretty much normal for work. But obviously our home life, we've not been able to see our family members. And we were fortunate enough to be able to see the grandkids for a few days. They came out and visited right before all of this shutdown. So that was a God time thing, I think, for all of us. And of course we FaceTime with them, and we FaceTime with other family members and keep tabs on Tim's parents. So we've been able to keep in touch pretty good like that. I think, obviously we do miss all of you. We miss, even though we've been able to, again, be fortunate enough to use technology to worship together. It's not like being able to be there and greet everybody and see everyone. I'd especially like to do a shout out to the youth Sunday school class. Hannah and Lydia and Jenna and Sadie and Maddie. I miss you guys, and I miss your stories, and I miss your energy, and I can't wait to hear what's been going on with you all for the last 5 weeks. I've kind of lost track now how long it's been. One thing that I've thought about, and Tim and I've talked about this a little bit, is it's kind of made us prioritize and reevaluate what does go on in our life. And we've been hearing the terms essential and non-essential, and that really kind of holds to our lives too. What's essential in our lives and what's non-essential. And it's been a good time for us to reflect on that and kind of, I think God's hit the reset button for us all. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. And in all of this, and I guess it's been, 3 weeks ago or so, in one of my prayer times, I was kind of rambling on to God like I usually do in my prayer times. But the 23rd Psalm popped in my head. And, like I'm sure a lot of you, I memorized that when I was a kid. And so I, ran through it, the memorization of it, ran through it, and then I said it again. And then the third time I slowed down and started listening to what I was saying. And it just really gave me a huge comfort feeling. I've actually been reciting that to myself several times a day ever since. And it's just, to me, it's meaningful, it's comforting, and it just gives me a reassurance of God's there, and He's got this, and He's got us. And I'd like to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you from the Message. I recite it, or I memorized it in King James Version, so that's when I say it to myself. That's how I say it. But let me read it to you out of the Message. So this is 23rd Psalm. God, my shepherd, I don't need a thing. You've bedded me down in lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. Even when the way goes through Death Valley, I'm not afraid when you walk at my side. Your trusty shepherd's crook makes me feel secure. You serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies. You revive my drooping head. My cup brims with blessing. Your beauty and love chase after me every day of my life. I'm back home in the house of God for the rest of my life.
It has been a different time, and with all of the struggles that so many of us are facing and the changes that have been kind of forced upon us, I went back to a sermon that I heard several years ago where the preacher was talking about the story of Exodus, which I thought was a bit odd. I wasn't quite sure where he was headed. But in the end, the real message was, and if you go back and look at the stories of the Old Testament, that whole history of the nation of Israel was going back to God always being there, always calling for them, always seeking them. I see this as that kind of a time for us, where we have a chance now to pause and do that reset and think about what God's doing for us, how He's there, even in the hard times. He's calling to us and asking us to be loyal and be faithful to Him and to trust Him that He will take care of us. So it's a challenge for all of us. These times certainly are. We certainly look forward to seeing everybody again. We look forward to the time we can all gather together in person again. We'll see you soon.
Bye.